Explore Digital Benin. Digital Benin brings together all objects and rich documentation material from collections worldwide to provide a long-requested overview of the royal artifacts from the Kingdom of Benin, looted in the late 19th century. The historic Benin objects are an expression of Benin arts, culture, and history, and were originally used as royal representational arts to depict historical events, to communicate, to worship, and perform rituals. Digital Benin connects data from over 5,000 objects across 131 institutions in 20 countries. A foundational space on Digital Benin is Eyoto, a display of the historical objects with their correct Edo designation. Listen, view, and read about their use, production, and function of the historic objects, or print out a coloring book and language cards for each Edo object group. As a central tool of Digital Benin, the catalog forms one of two digital spaces on the platform where the dispersed Benin objects are for the first time digitally reassembled. It shows over 12,000 images and 30 3D models. Objects in the catalog can be searched, filtered, studied, and viewed. Expanding the object cards allows for more information to be presented at one time. Now, let's navigate to the institutions page. Here, one can study each institutional collection of Benin objects and sort the list of institutions by name, object count, and country. Selecting an institution gives access to an introduction page with details about the institution, the collected data, and overview of objects in the collection. On the provenance page, one can study the roles, biographies, and object relations of provenance names that document the trajectories and ownership histories of the collections, and that can contribute to identifying many of the royal treasures that were taken by members of the expedition and the small number of objects that arrived in Europe before 1897. Digital Benin has identified close to 1,000 names of provenance entities. The map shows contemporary Edo South and Benin City. The map draws on the historical relationship among people, places, and objects to reveal the significant functionality of the historic Benin objects to the Benin people. On the left side, one can filter through the information and locate various palaces, memorials, and more. Click on the right side, and one can see an overview of the location of institutions that hold the scattered historic objects today. By selecting an institution, one can see where objects are located today. The oral history page is fundamental for understanding the historical and cultural importance of the historic Benin objects. Listening to Benin people contextualize objects through reflections on our history and traditions is an effective way to gain insight into our culture and history, which has been passed down from one generation to another for centuries. Itaido means the story of the Benin Kingdom. This space presents Benin history from an indigenous perspective using Benin authored sources exclusively. Itaido is a concise but comprehensive literature review of the documented history and traditions by Benin scholars and writers. The MAC in Hamburg, Germany, hosts this extensive project with a generous grant from the Ernst von Siemens Konstruktion, a 14-member international project team of principal investigators, researchers, designers, and developers compiled the relevant object data and research on the platform between 2020 and 2022.